Welcome back to StrayaMania Weekly. It's the only wrestling podcast called StrayaMania. I'm your host, Ricki and, as always, joined by Michael Thompson. How you doing?
Hey, Ricki, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, man. So, we have a few updates to the studio. We now have individual microphones, which is nice.
This is the announcement. We have our own microphones now.
It's so good. Hopefully, once I've edited all this, the audio quality will have improved from last week.
Here's hoping.
The last year and a bit. Anyway, as we do here on the weekly show, we're here to break down Raw, SmackDown, NXT, give our thoughts on each of the shows, what happened, and what we thought about it all. So, kicking off with Raw, as we usually do. Overall thoughts on the show?
Probably the best Raw I've seen in a very long time. Probably the best Raw ending I've seen in a very long time. For me, personally,
yep,
I'd have to go back to maybe the Summer of Punk in 2011. Was the last time I enjoyed a Raw ending, and then Monday night, Tuesday morning in Australia, eclipsed it.
Yeah, it was one hell of an ending, and we're going to get to that, but as we do, break it down segment by segment. Kicking off, of course, we had the Fatal 4-Way little forum, the talk between all the members of the Fatal 4-Way. So yeah, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins in the ring, with Corey Graves sort of being there, the interviewer. And I thought this was a really, really good segment. Roman Reigns didn't talk. The other three did. But I thought Seth Rollins was great, as he usually is. Cass shined in this segment as well. And, Kevin Owens was pretty good as well.
And Vince went nuts when Roman and Big Cass were the only two men left in the ring as well. He would have gone nuts backstage going, "Big man, make him look strong, damn it."
They did the thing, and they looked, had the little stare off, and the crowd sort of bought into it, which was pretty cool. But it's cool to see someone tower over Roman Reigns.
It looked really cool seeing that.
Yeah.
I was watching WTF moments from Wild Culture as well.
Yeah.
And they put in a little gif of Vince falling off the chair as well.
Vince getting really excited about that. So
Yeah.
expect that to be a feud going forward. I think we're going to see something like that in the near future. Maybe when Roman turns heel, but, let's not get our hopes up about that.
Couple weeks, maybe.
Yeah, we never know.
Which would be good.
So, yeah, that was a really good segment to open up. Got us hyped, and they ran promos throughout the show with each of the four competitors, sort of giving us, why they want to be the champion, why they're, the fucking best choice for it. So, it was really good, really effective, and I like that the whole show had that through line of, we're building to this at the end of the show. So, thought it was really good. Next up, Neville v. Chris Jericho in a pretty good match. Jericho going over. What do you reckon about that?
I like it. Moving forward, these two are going to have a feud, most likely going to culminate Clash of the Champions, which will be good to see. I think Neville and Jericho, because in 3 weeks' time, which is when Clash of the Champions may happen, Cruiserweight division is going to come to Monday Night Raw. So we're going to see probably the night after Clash of Champions, the debut of the Cruiserweight division. And the one thing they want to do is to make Neville look strong, is that he'll probably go over Jericho at Clash of Champions to make him look strong heading into when they bring the Cruiserweight division to Raw. Yeah,
I think he needs to be the centerpiece of that division. You've got, obviously, the guys from the Cruiserweight Classic that have been rumoured or confirmed to be signed, like Noam Dar, Kota Ibushi,
Brian
Kendrick, who's coming back, which I can't wait. I love Brian Kendrick. So
I hope it brings back what he did with Big Zeke. I like that sort of gimmick from Brian Kendrick.
Yeah,
it worked his character well.
There's a lot of ways you can go with him. I think he's going to be sort of the Dudley Boys, hopefully not as buried as the Dudley Boys, but there to put over the new guys, make them look strong and develop them for the future. He'll only be there for probably a couple of years. He's getting up there in age, but...
He is, but what people don't realise is that Brian Kendrick was a World Heavyweight Champion at one point.
Where?
He won the title temporarily for 5 minutes in the Championship Scramble match at Unforgiven back in 2008.
Oh, okay, right.
So he's been temporarily a world champion before Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so that was a good match, and I want to see them again at Clash of Champions is the Raw one? Yeah, okay, Clash of Champions, I want to see them fight. I reckon it'll be a good one, and hopefully Neville gets set up as the sort of centerpiece of the Cruiserweight division as we go forward. Next up, Nia Jax versus Hyan? A jobber. She versed a jobber. And
woman.
And she crushed that jobber. Poor little jobber. I think once Becky Lynch comes back, I think we're going to see Bayley v Nia Jax again. I think Nia Jax and Braun Strowman, to an extent, they're doing the jobber thing right now. It's good. It's working for them. But they need... There's something... They need something to happen after... they're done with the jobbers. I think Nia Jax going through Bayley, and then possibly if Becky Lynch retains the championship.
Does it mean Sasha Charlotte?
Sorry, yeah, the other one. No, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks comes back. I'm so confused. Bloody brand splits get me all mixed up. Sasha Banks comes back from injury, regains the championship off Charlotte. Thank you. Fucking hell. And so Nia Jax, I think her first major feud will be Bayley, because I don't think Bayley is going to win the championship off Charlotte at Clash of Champions. So Bayley has her run at the belt, fails, goes back. First major feud for Nia Jax is Bayley. Going to get both of them over in that feud because it's going to be, typical 50-50 booking. One gets a win, the other one gets a win sort of thing. So Nia Jax is going to look strong for taking on Bayley. Bayley, if she gets a win, looks strong for taking down Nia Jax. But then Nia Jax goes into a championship through Bayley against Sasha Banks at some point.
What I love, though, for the fact is that Bayley and Charlotte are hopefully going to work a much better match than what happened at SummerSlam, because Charlotte got slammed backstage for being really dangerous in her match against Sasha Banks. And Banks did bring it up when she was interviewed as well, on the pre-show as well. She brought up how dangerous Charlotte was to her in the ring.
Yeah.
And I love how they can sort of play on that.
Yeah, I think that'll be a major point going forward. So
you could get your Hell in the Cell match for the Women's Championship.
Oh, I really want to see that. It'd be so good.
It would be good to see.
It'd be fucking awesome.
Because I think Sasha would be happy to do the whole, if you want to play rough, let's play rough inside stage structure. Something like that. That would be pretty cool to see, a Hell in the Cell match for the Women's Championship going forward.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy with that. So, anyway, I'll keep the jobber thing going for a bit. I think after Clash of Champions, the jobber thing's going to go by the wayside. There's been, 2 months of jobbing.
I'm sort of staying sick. I'm getting sick of this.
Yeah,
jobbing.
I think it just, it's... The competitors are really funny, and I do like the in-ring interviews with them.
I like that guy. He's like big, sweaty guy.
Johnny Knockout?
Johnny Knockout.
You can't...
I love big, sweaty guys, and Braun Strowman's going to be a big, sweaty guy.
Yes, he was.
Vince loves big, sweaty guys, and big, tall, sweaty guys, and
he does.
He can't wait to see Braun Strowman, Big Cass, and Roman Reigns in the ring together, because he's going to go nuts.
All big, sweaty men. Next up, we had Sami Zayn versus Jinder Mahal. What was the point of bringing Jinder Mahal back? He's just jobbing out there. He hasn't won a match yet, except for the one against Heath Slater, obviously. But he's enhancement talent. And
he is.
I don't know if that was like a thing. Like, we're bringing you back to WWE, but you're going to lose every week.
Should have took him on SmackDown.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. Like, he's just another guy that's going to lose every match on Raw. Whereas if he was on SmackDown, he could be someone who might win from time to time. But it seems like he's just jobbing out, not doing much. Sami Zayn selling the ankle injury still.
But I'll pick up what happened.
Yeah.
He sold the right ankle last week. Jinder was working on the left ankle this week.
Yeah, that did get brought up by a couple of people, and I'm like, that's you got to watch that. Because people like us will pick up on that and be like, hey, that's wrong. Silly boys. But yeah, look, it was a decent match. I was happy with it. Good to see Sami actually selling an injury, and it might be worked into a storyline in a major way at some point, but I think it was just a sneaky little way to be like, do you think they're playing on the whole Seth Rollins not being safe in the ring deal?
Yep.
Yeah, they seem to be.
The Miz is, and we'll talk about the Miz as well a little bit later on, because the Miz brought up how safe he is in the ring as well, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I love how, and I was watching a video yesterday as well, that, and the people that did this was right. The SummerSlam has changed the WWE the way we see it now, because it's more attitude than what it's been the last few years, and we're seeing that moving forward a little bit. Like, it's a bit more blurred between real and not real.
Yeah, I saw the same video, and I kind of agree with that statement.
Kayfabe's sort of coming back slowly.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. The last time the lines were blurred this much was during Punk's big run in 2011, where he came out and did the pipe bomb, of course. And that was the last time wrestling was like back really into the mainstream and really relevant, and people were talking about it again. And it sort of died off after Punk. They killed his run, which I'll never understand why the fuck they did that.
And ever since what Lesnar did to Randy Orton, it's being talked about again. And not just Lesnar and Orton, not just AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, but like every single storyline that's happening right now on Raw and SmackDown. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting direction for them to go creatively.
I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, like I'm tuning in every week to see both shows. So that's obviously, it's working. It's making me tune in and watch wrestling every week, which I want to do anyway. But if you got compelling storylines and you're blurring that line enough for me to go, am I questioning what I'm seeing on screen? That's a good thing to have. So it is a very effective tactic that they're using at the moment. So if they can keep it up, and continue to blur that line a little bit, I'm going to keep watching.
Same here.
Yeah, so they're doing a good job. Anyway, next up we had New Day and Bayley. First of all, is there a better match made in heaven than New Day and Bayley? Their characters just fit so well together. It worked so good. So she's backstage, walking along, runs across the New Day. They, pal up really quickly, and then you got Dana Brooke comes in and, starts running down Bayley, and the New Day like, hey, she beat you last week. And she's like, I'm going to go find some guys to help me out. Finds the club. So you got now Gallows and Anderson retirement specialists, and I did kind of laugh at the old fart anagram.
I did too.
It was old, what was it? Octogenarian, hang on. Octogenarian leisure, I can't remember what it is. Leisure destination for, I can't remember what the A was. I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was. It was good.
It was smart.
I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. Anyway, but I thought it was really good. So we have a match between, mixed gender tag match.
And Nurse Dana Brooke, by the way.
Oh, Nurse Dana Brooke, which a lot of people have brought up. A little bit pornographic. It did seem like the opening scenes to a porno. Two big dudes, and then a nurse walks in. It's like, I've seen that before somewhere.
Gallows Anderson, nurse?
Yeah. Bend over. So then we had your mixed gender tag match. So Bayley and the New Day versus Dana Brooke and the Club. Really entertaining match. I liked it.
I really liked it as well.
I liked Bayley getting involved in the Unicorn Stomp and actually coming in, hitting
Anderson.
Yeah, well, that was great. I like this team up. I would actually like to see Dana Brooke move away from Charlotte and maybe become a female member of the Club. The thing is, everyone has been talking like it's the Club, it's the Bullet Club from New Japan, but I'm like, okay, that's still a thing in Japan. Here it's just the Club. It's not as sacred a thing as it was over in Japan. So you can start to introduce new members. Like, I want AJ to have Club members over on SmackDown because he's missing Gallows and Anderson over on Raw. So I think you can start to introduce new Club members with Gallows and Anderson to make it a really, really strong faction. And I've been like Dana Brooke with Charlotte, it kind of worked for the first couple of months, and then now I'm bored of it.
It's dry. And she's got nothing to do because Emma's still out, and most likely Emma might have a face turn and sort of go into a program with Dana Brooke going forward when she comes back from her injury.
Yeah, so I think there is room there for you to go, right, well, we can start to introduce new members of the Club, new dynamics to this faction on Raw, and do it on SmackDown as well. Give, I don't know, maybe Baron Corbin to AJ Styles in the Club or something like that. I don't know. Over on SmackDown, there's not as much on the roster, so you can't really work it out. But here, you got like, okay, Dana Brooke, move her away from Charlotte. Let Charlotte be a heel by herself. She's fantastic by herself. And then, you can have her join the Club. She can get on in the comedic stuff that Gallows and Anderson do really, really well. But she can play up that really ruthless side of her moveset and her in-ring style, because she is very big, a lot bigger than a lot of the women in the division. And you can go, okay, focus your moveset on, like, be the female Gallows or Anderson, be that really big, hard-hitting heel that I think she could actually do really well. So I'm all for it. If they can make this a thing, her as a female member of the Club, I'm all for that. I reckon it'll work. And then going forward, you can have Bayley teaming up with the New Day when she needs to.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So let's have more of that. I like that. Add a bit of variety to everything. Next match, Cesaro v Sheamus, match 2 of the best of 7 series. Pretty solid match once again.
Sheamus getting the win.
Sheamus getting the win again. I think they're going for like the 0-3 for Sheamus, and then
Cesaro win the last 4.
Winning last 4. However, now this is what you're talking about. It's that blurring the lines thing. Cesaro was reported by WWE.com to be injured after the match. This could be a legit, could be a work. We don't know. So like you said, it creates that conversation of like, do you reckon Cesaro was actually injured in the match? I don't know. He could be. Could be at work.
Or is he selling it well like Sami Zayn?
Yeah, he could be selling it really, really well. So I guess we'll see next week or the week after, whenever they have their third match.
Well, they might wait until maybe Clash of the Champions now they have their third match.
Quite possibly.
Because
it's only a couple
it
weeks
took
away.
2 weeks between it.
Yeah.
It took 2 weeks between each one because they had a match at SummerSlam. Last week they didn't have a match at all. They had just talking, interview backstage. And then this week they had a match. So I'm thinking moving forward, the third match will probably be a Clash of the Champions.
Yeah,
and I like how they're not competing against each other every single week as well. So at least,
no, it's good.
It's good to give them a week off, or maybe 2 weeks, depending with Clash of the Champions. Have a third match of Clash of the Champions, and then sort of move the feud from there.
Bloody plane flying overhead. So I just hope Cesaro isn't legit hurt, because that would suck.
That would suck.
Because that's another person on the sidelines. So hopefully he's okay. I did watch the match back. And they were talking about, it was his back that got rammed in the ring post. Well, that was really more of his ass. So I'm thinking it's a work. Hopefully it is. Hopefully he's all good. And going forward, he's not out for a couple of months, which would just be the worst.
The next one is Braun
Strowman versus Americo, an American-themed luchador. Big old squash. And then...
taking the mask off.
Ooh, boy.
We've seen that before.
Yeah. Like, it's not a lucha promotion, so it's not as a sacred thing, but in the lucha promotion, that is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
You do not take the mask off. So,
no.
But a very effective heel move. Because obviously, backstage would have been agreed to, he's going to rip your mask off at the end of the match. Cool.
More heat on Braun.
Massive heat on Braun now. Like, that's like a wrestling sacred thing. You do not remove a luchador's mask. It's a big deal. So... it was effective, but like I said, with the stuff with Nia Jax and him, it's starting to get a bit old. So I'm hoping they move on to like legit feuds soon. My guess is still
Big Show, Braun Strowman.
Big Show, yeah,
because Big Show hasn't been seen since he got drafted.
No, so I'm guessing that's where they're going to go. Have Braun Strowman beat Big Show. Big Show said he's retiring WrestleMania next year, so there's no reason.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Fuck.
At least it's 8 years in the making, that match.
I mean, I guess, but I'd much rather Big Show to go out against... like, I would happily have him go out against Braun Strowman. Like, because he's actually up against another wrestler and he's putting over a guy for the future. He's like, I'm the big giant of WWE. You beat me at WrestleMania. I retire. You're now the giant of WWE. It's the passing of the torch moment. And they're wasting it on Shaquille O'Neal. So, not the biggest fan of that, but that feud is going to happen eventually. Sooner rather than later, so we're going to see that moment happen anyway. And then I reckon Big Show is probably going to disappear and then pop up around Royal Rumble time to promote the match at Mania.
Against Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, so expect that to happen sooner rather than later.
I like this next one.
Yes, Paul Heyman and Stephanie McMahon in the ring. Paul Heyman there to... address all the stuff that happened with the fine and the F5 to Shane McMahon.
And to pay Stephanie handsomely in $1 bills. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after 6, that was funny. I laughed at that.
I was expecting like some weird stripper angle. Like... Paul Heyman just to like make it rain on Stephanie. They're not going to do it. This day and age, not going to happen. But in the Attitude Era,
they would have done that.
They would have made it rain on Stephanie McMahon with $1 bills. Not going to happen this day and age. But the back and forth was really good. I really liked that. Him apologising to her and her kind of accepting it was odd.
She said there was a storm coming though.
Is that storm going to be Goldberg?
I would think so. Yeah, I think that's where it's going to happen.
Okay,
because Paul. If you looked at Paul's face afterwards, he thought that he was off the hook.
Yeah.
Stephanie showed no remorse, no facial expression, no facial change on after she said, "I accept your apology." And it looked like that Stephanie has sort of accepted it, but she's got a big thing coming for Brock Lesnar in the future and Paul Heyman. Also, another thing the crowd has done. CM Punk chants.
Yeah, whenever Paul Heyman's in the ring by himself, time for CM Punk chants.
Yep.
Yays.
He's not coming back.
No, he's not. He's fighting in, 2 weeks.
Couple of weeks, yeah.
203, yeah. That'll be interesting.
He's going to get his ass.
I have the day off work.
I think we should go see him.
I think we should. I usually have to work UFC dates because we're the only place at the casino that actually has the UFC license. But I'm doing the setup the night before, which means I get the Sunday off. Which means we're going to Lagerfield to watch the UFC.
Oh, even better. I was going to say we should go to the Hawthorn because the Hawthorn normally show it as well.
No, Lagerfield, we got the biggest screen in Crown, man.
Drinks will be on board for that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Big screen. Watch CM Punk. Maybe. Have you been watching the Evolution of Punk documentary?
I have, yeah.
It's good.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm up to date. So I've watched all 3 now. I'm waiting for the last one to come out, which will be next week. It's
very WWE 24.
It is.
Like, it's got that because you got all the training moments, but then you got all the lighthearted moments with him and AJ. So it is very, very WWE 24.
And it's very good to see Charlene as well back. His sister.
Yeah, they're focusing on like all facets of his life. So they're trying to sell. It is a very wrestling thing to do. They're trying to sell the character of CM Punk to the UFC audience so that when he comes out at UFC 203, people feel like they've got some connection to him and they know him a bit through these little documentary episodes.
Still waiting for Living Colour Cola Personality to come over the speakers for him to walk out to.
Look,
I'm thinking that
could be.
Or
it seriously could be.
He might even use, because he's good mates with the lead singer from Rancid, he might even come out with one of the Rancid songs as well.
That's probably a more likely, because he's trying to remove himself from the wrestling deal, but anyway. Back to Paul Heyman. Yeah, so I think that this whole thing isn't over. Like, obviously, Shane McMahon said last week on SmackDown, it's not over. I've still got beef with Brock Lesnar. I still don't want to see that match. No.
He's got 3 kids to look after and a wife.
Yep. And Brock Lesnar will kill him. Fucking just murder him in the ring. So Goldberg seems like an obvious choice. Do you really want to see that, though?
I do, but I want to see something better than what was given to me at WrestleMania 20, because the build between that match was amazing up until WrestleMania 20. And then the news broke that they were both leaving after WrestleMania 20, and then they just completely ruined that match for me.
Well, do you think that
this time around they're not going though? They're not going though, which is good.
It could be. Well, this feels like a Goldberg one and done sort of thing. Like he'd come in, fight Brock Lesnar, then never have another match. It could be like it's a redemption thing. They both, or the company wants them to put on a better showing than they did at WrestleMania 20, which is kind of a hard thing to do because Brock Lesnar wrestles a very different style now. And Goldberg's been out of the ring ever since then. So the chances of them putting on a better match than they put on at WrestleMania 20, not that great. So I really don't know what they're expecting out of this feud. I would much rather see something completely different. Just don't rehash old feuds. But I think that's the path they're going down. So
maybe
we can't stop it.
No, we can't.
It's a runaway train.
It's like Sting's now announcing that he's not done yet. He wants one more match before he rides off into the sunset.
Well, Daniel Bryan's been saying that too. We'll get to that when we get to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Next up, Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. This is the new Dolph Ziggler Baron Corbin feud. I feel it's going to keep happening.
Titus O'Neil is becoming more and more of a dick each week.
Yeah,
and he's beating up on 66-year-old men.
I kind of like the Titus O'Neil heel thing, but it's like it's this really weird thing with kayfabe these days. It's like Titus O'Neil is a big company guy because, got Father of the Year, WWE's, fucking touting that all they want.
He makes wishes.
He makes all the wishes and stuff, and then he comes out...
He's a family man.
And then he comes out and beats up a 60-year-old man on television. It's like, okay, I guess, but...
So it would have been much easier for Darren Young to be the heel in this situation.
Yeah, but then you turn Bob Backlund heel. I don't think anyone wants that. I think people... like Bob Backlund, they don't want him to be a heel, so...
Because the last time they put him as a heel, it didn't work out too well.
No.
Now he's winning WWE champion.
Yeah, none of it feels right to me, so I'm not a big fan of any of it, but whatever.
But the last match,
here we go. Seth v. Kevin v. Big Cass v. Roman, Universal title, Fatal 4-Way, Elimination Fatal 4-Way, which was brought up in the opening segment, which, when they said that, I'm like, this is going to lead to some shenanigans because it's not going to be one pinfall finish. And there were shenanigans. But before the shenanigans, it was a really, really solid match.
It was.
Every guy got their shots in. Big Cass eliminated first, which in hindsight makes sense because of what happened later on in the match. He seems like the most protected guy aside from Kevin Owens who won. So he gets eliminated first. Comes down to Kevin, Seth, Roman. They're all hitting their finishes. They're all hitting their signatures.
Roman hits the spear on Seth on the outside.
Yeah.
He's about to basically drag his body back into the ring and pin him. And then the Cerebral Assassin just comes out through the crowd. Mick and Stephanie put the shock look on their face.
Yeah.
He pedigrees Roman. Seth pins him. He puts Owens' body back in. It looked like he was going to pedigree Kevin Owens. He turns around and he pedigrees Seth Rollins. The crowd went nuts. Kevin's face went nuts. I put out a tweet after that happened. I'm like, now that is what you call NXT TakeOver.
Okay, well, someone brought this up. Do you reckon with the return of Triple H, they could be going on another NXT invasion angle, but with the current members of the NXT roster? The current members of the WWE that were from NXT.
I think they will, yeah.
Because that is an interesting way to go, keeping Triple H separate from Stephanie and Mick because they are Raw. He is NXT because he's the vocal point of NXT. Everyone knows he's the guy that runs it, books the shows, signs the guys. Spearhead the Cruiserweight Classic as well. In everyone's eyes, he is a face when he's on NXT. When he comes back to the main roster, of course, he is a heel because that's his character. So, if they could run it so that you'd have to probably eliminate the guys from the Shield. And I think there's an easy story.
Triple H didn't really sign them in the first place because they were wrestling in FCW before it became NXT.
So you've got pretty much everyone that's come up to the main roster from NXT post-Shield. So Kevin Owens obviously is your number one. Finn Balor injured right now, can't be involved in the storyline.
Sami
Zayn is another one. Big Cass and Enzo. Obviously all the women coming up as well. So I don't know.
Cesaro, I would say as well, because he was down at NXT.
Yeah, but he was at FCW before NXT.
He was too, but Triple H could lure him to the NXT side. So, he was given opportunity. He sort of revamped his career in NXT.
Maybe. I'm not too sure about that.
They could play on that.
Could a little bit, but I don't see that. He feels like he was a product of the WWE before NXT really kicked on, so I think he would be on the WWE side of this. So
you can't include the Wyatts in this either because
once again, same deal.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt was Husky Harris.
Yes,
which we'll get to later.
Anyone that was in like the original run of NXT, so that includes the guys from the New Day as well, doesn't count.
No,
it's pretty much from your Nevilles onwards. So it was basically Shield,
Neville, Tyler Breeze,
those guys,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
It'd be an interesting angle.
AJ Styles. Oh, not really AJ Styles.
No, because he came straight to the main roster. So did the club. So it's going to be an interesting going forward how they run, if they are going with that angle, which I think they are, how they're going to do that.
It'd be good to see Triple H versus Stephanie again. Because I like seeing those two go to war against each other. In particular, when they went to war against each other, when Triple H came back from his career-threatening ACL injury back in 2002.
Yeah, so
poor Chris Jericho, he was the odd man out in that one.
He was, because
it was basically Triple H versus Stephanie. Unfortunately, Triple H couldn't fight Stephanie for the championship. Chris Jericho was the one that was fed to Triple H at WrestleMania 18, the main event. Yeah, and got crushed.
He did. Look, there's a lot where you can go from here. I'm excited. I want to see it going forward, but Kevin Owens is our Universal Champion.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy as well. I'm loving it.
That is what's best for business.
That is what's best for business. I really, really enjoyed it. So,
but going back to what you said about watching Raw every week, I want to watch Raw next week to see the fallout from this because I want to see what happens next.
Yeah,
because Steph, after Raw, he went off at Steph. He looked like he was going to take Stephanie. Stephanie hid behind Mick Foley. Because Mick was trying to calm Seth down after Raw.
Yeah.
And that was good to see.
Yeah, so is Seth a face now? Or does he keep that heel dynamic, but now he's just against Kevin Owens and Triple H? What do you reckon's better for Seth Rollins? Because he gets cheered anyway.
He does, and I think him and Reigns might make a temporary partnership because they were like, we both hate Triple H, we both hate Kevin Owens. We'll temporarily work together to eliminate both of them.
Yeah.
And then they'll go back to, and they're like, well, when Seth has the title, when Roman has the title, then Seth will go, you know what? Now we'll fight each other again. Yeah,
I'd much rather Seth keep his current personality, character. Don't worry about going like full face. He gets cheered enough anyway. So keep him as he is because he's great as the arrogant like piece of shit. You know, it works so well for his character. So keep that. Don't turn him traditional face.
Oh, they won't turn him traditional face. No. But he might do him and Roman might do a temporary truce where they'll work together to eliminate Kevin Owens and Triple H. They'll sort of be their stick a little bit.
I reckon save that till maybe Survivor Series when we have like a WWE versus NXT style thing, because I reckon Roman should go back to his feud with Rusev. That never got resolved.
That's the one problem. Rusev wasn't even on Raw.
No, he wasn't. Apparently, he's nursing legit rib injury.
That explains it. Yep.
So that's the rumor backstage. Not too sure if that's a work or a shoot, but I reckon you have Roman go back to that feud. Keep him out of the world title picture. He had his shot. He lost his shot. Fuck him. Seth goes into a feud with Kevin for the next couple of pay-per-views. Then you get to Survivor Series, and then you can do a Team WWE or Team Raw versus Team NXT. So you have Seth, Roman, someone else, Cesaro, maybe even Sheamus, depending on how they sort of run this, if they are going with this angle, against like, your big NXT guys. So Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Big Cass, Enzo, whatever. However they do it, I'm not too sure how they're gonna deal with the face heel dynamic of a lot of these guys.
What I was actually thinking was, imagine if Triple H did pedigree Roman Reigns, but then as Seth pinned Roman Reigns, Triple H pulled Seth off Roman Reigns, pedigreed both Seth and Kevin, and then helped Roman Reigns win the Universal Championship. A, Roman Reigns would have been a heel, and B, so much heat would have been on Roman Reigns going, you two can't stand each other. It's sort of like when Austin McMahon got together.
Yeah.
Imagine if they went down that route.
It's what I pitched for SummerSlam this year. Didn't happen.
Triple H and Reigns working together.
That was back before everything happened with injuries and whatever, but that was my original pitch, was for Roman to join the Authority, biggest heel in the company, Seth turns face. So that's another version of that, which would have been great, but yeah, I like Roman being out of the title picture for a bit. It's good. I like it. It's fresh. And him going after the US title makes it feel really big, even though Rusev is doing a fantastic job of making it feel like a title everyone wants. So I'm happy where everything's going. Which is nice. It's good. Keep this up. Keep me interested. Keep me watching every week.
Don't screw it up. Speaking of people keeping championships prestigious,
yes,
The Miz.
All right, SmackDown
and his
talk.
little dummy spat at Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, we did discuss that last week, and
the continuation of it continued because The Miz actually didn't wait until his music hit. He just walked out to the middle of the ring.
Yeah, this attitude change is amazing.
I love it.
And I think it's going to be his... I don't see him getting another world title run, but I see him being in the running. With all this momentum he's gaining out of this, I think that's a legit shot of him having a go at the title, not necessarily winning it, but it's a refreshing change up to a character that was somewhat entertaining, but getting a bit stale. So now you've added this element of just ruthlessness and taking no nonsense and just wanting the respect he deserves, which is a very CM Punk-esque angle, which he worked really well, and I think The Miz can do a really good job of doing that as well. So Miz comes out, no confrontation with Daniel Bryan face-to-face, because I think there was a cold open with him and Shane talking about how Shane doesn't want Bryan talking to the talent like that anymore.
And then it's like coming from the guy who has a beef with Brock Lesnar, and I was like, oh.
Which I thought was a really smart thing to bring up, because they're going to keep bringing that up no matter what. So
next week we'll find that Shane will go again. It's like, I still have a beef with Brock Lesnar, and this fight with me and Brock Lesnar is far from over.
Yeah.
Because he's hell-bent on getting back at Brock Lesnar for what he did to Randy Orton and to himself for F5ing him.
Just don't do a match, please.
Just don't kill him.
Yeah.
But The Miz, though, I liked it. He basically just told the fans to get stuffed.
Yeah.
He's like, you shouldn't be booing me.
Yeah, and
Don't boo me.
it's great. Like a lot of people have been saying, he's the only genuine heel in the company right now.
He's the #1 heel on SmackDown right now.
He's fantastic at what he's doing. And then Ziggler comes down, confronts him, wants a title shot there and then. Miz is like, nah, screw that. Gets called chicken, which is pretty funny if you know that they're doing the whole KFC Colonel Chicken. It's so dumb. I hate that.
Dolph Ziggler as well, calling the Miz a coward.
Yes.
It's like, you know what? You are a coward.
Yeah, that was good. And so now we've got a IC title match set for Backlash. Miz, Ziggler, looking forward to that one.
I think this is going to be the match that both of them needed.
Yeah.
And the Miz is going to show how ruthless he really can be in this match, and I can't wait to see I can't wait to see what he's going to do to Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
He's going to hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a different side to the Miz we're going to see at Backlash. It's not going to be the Miz who's cocky, arrogant, always having to have Maurice help him to win. This is going to
keep her around. Don't get rid of her. Keep her with this gimmick.
Well, apparently there's rumours that she's training right now to get back into the ring. I think she wants
to.
Which would be good as well, because then you've got an additional woman to the SmackDown Women's Championship division as well, which I'm thoroughly going to enjoy seeing Maurice in the ring, because Maurice has never competed against people like Nikki Bella, never competed against women like your Becky Lynch's or your Natalia's at all. So it'd be good to have Maurice get back into the ring, because I think the one match I was looking forward to seeing back in 2010 was when the Bellas first started. I was looking forward to seeing sort of like a Bella versus Maurice match for the title. Yeah,
well, we've got the chance for all of that now.
Which is good.
Yeah, so keep all these things up. It's good. IC title match at Backlash. Looking forward to that one. Next up, tag team tournament match. The Hype Bros versus the Vaudevillains. The Hype Bros won.
Are you on the Mojo Rawley train yet?
No.
Nope.
Never will be.
I love him. I honestly love him. But you know what I'm waiting for, though?
I just don't.
You know what I'm waiting for, though?
What?
I'm still... Because Kurt Hawkins was backstage...
Really?
On SmackDown Live this past week. What I'm actually expecting next week is... It's going to be Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Hype Bros. I'm expecting Kurt Hawkins to come out during that match.
Beat up Mojo Rawley, take his place.
Not just that, but sort of distract him a little bit. Then they're going to have another match at Backlash. Kurt Hawkins is going to come back out again. Distract the Hype Bros in whatever match they'll have. They'll lose the match again. Mojo Rawley calls Kurt Hawkins out with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder turns heel. Him and Hawkins destroy Mojo Rawley and reunite Hawkins and Ryder together.
I'm okay with that. Let's have that happen.
Because it'll be a fresh change for Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
And Ryder does so well as a heel. And it's been a while since I've seen Ryder and Hawkins, or Ryder working with someone like Kurt Hawkins, because Hawkins gets the best out of Ryder. Ryder gets the best out of Hawkins. If you want Kurt Hawkins to do well on his return to the WWE, put him back with Zack Ryder and reunite the Edgeheads together again.
Yeah, I want that. That'd be great. I don't like Mojo Rawley. Go back to NXT, you weirdo.
But wait the 4-week period, just like let Kurt Hawkins come out for a month and just be the distraction for this, and then sort of get Mojo Rawley to come out and go, well, why is Kurt Hawkins coming out for just our matches? Why is he why is he just walking out?
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Wherever they go with it, I want to see Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins reunite. So, next up, Apollo Crews versus AJ Styles in a pretty entertaining match. I really enjoyed this one.
I'm starting to warm up to Apollo Crews. I think he's showing a bit more charisma.
Just a little bit.
He's showing a bit more charisma in the ring.
Yeah.
And Styles got the best out of him as well. Calling him Apollo Creed again. Yeah. And now Crews is like...
He's never going to live that down.
Crews. Yeah. He's going to be the man that spells 5 letters from now on.
God damn it.
So he's going to start saying SAWFT.
Oh, God, please don't. That's Enzo and Cass's thing. Leave it alone. But yeah, he's like, there's no doubt that Apollo Crews is great in the ring. It's just, he's got no personality.
He doesn't.
At all. So, they got to work on that.
Work on
his character.
His character needs to be built in some capacity.
Yeah. Anyway, we had...
I like this next one.
Yeah, Renee Young goes to visit Heath Slater at his quote-unquote house.
Trailer park.
Trailer park, yep. And Rhino's there. We meet Heath Slater's quote-unquote, once again, wife. And, yeah, pretty funny here and there. I liked, Heath Slater. Comedic timing and chops. Great. He is very, very funny. Really enjoyed him. And Rhino was really good as well. I barely recognise him with like his hair tied up. I'm like, who the hell is that? Oh,
Rhino.
It's Rhino. What the hell? Looks so different when he's not wearing like wrestling trunks and his hair down. Looks so different. This is his what's he, a senator or a congressman?
Senator from, I think, Minnesota.
That's his senator get up then.
Oh no, sorry, not Minnesota. I think Michigan.
One of them, yeah, whatever.
I think it's Michigan, not Minnesota.
Anyway, it's just weird that Rhino is a senator.
I loved the quote from though. Is Heath Slater's like to Renee Young? Do you want to go see my above ground pool? And then the car drives off. He's like, Roscoe! And his quote unquote wife is like, oh, not again. And then just Rhino is sort of looking at Renee, giving her a bit of a wink while he's having the ham and the cream cheese and the crackers as well, and just smiling at her. Like, that was funny.
Yeah, it was an okay segment.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was alright. It was entertaining enough for me. So
I could really get behind Heath Slater and Rhino being a tag team now.
Oh yeah.
I could really get behind this.
I got behind it last week when it was like when we found out like that actually works really well, and it is working really well so far. So good for them.
And Rhino brought up a good quote on Talking Smack as well. He has not held the WWE Tag Team Championships ever, but the last time he was a Tag Team Champion was 18 years ago in ECW.
Oh, okay.
1998 was the last time he held the Tag Team titles.
Who did he side with in the Attitude Era?
He was part of the
Hardy
Alliance.
Was it Hardy Boys?
Edge and Christian.
Okay, right.
Because he helped them win the tag titles of WrestleMania 17.
That's right.
Because he gored Lita through the table.
That's right. Because Lita was with the Hardy Boys, of course.
And he gored Chris Jericho through the SmackDown stage to just completely destroy it.
Yeah,
and then they brought in the new stage the next week. Yeah. And they blamed Rhino for destroying the old stage because he gored Chris Jericho through it.
Yeah.
And then he teamed up with Tajiri, and they went for the World Tag Team titles on Raw, but they were unsuccessful in collecting those. Okay,
well, I kind of want to see him win. I want to see him win the tag champs, get Heath Slater his contract, and then they can drop him to American Alpha in a week or a month. That's fine.
I think a month, because I think I want Rhino to... Because Rhino, I think, the deal he made, I think he wants to at least hold some sort of gold in the WWE during this run, which would be good. And for Rhino to have never held the tag team titles, and for him to be with Heath Slater, it'd be fitting to see Rhino be a tag team champion, be the first ever SmackDown tag team champions again. It'll be good for him as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Even if he holds it for a month, it'll be good for him as well.
That's fine. I think because like the tag titles are new, there's no prestige to them yet. So putting them on Slater and Rhino, that's fine. And then you put them on the American Alpha at some point, and then they add the prestige to the titles going forward, defending them for probably about a year.
Yeah, because you got the person who is a former 5-time tag team champion in Heath Slater when he did it with David Otunga and Justin Gabriel. And then you got someone like Rhino who's a veteran in this company to hold the titles, and you can go, wow, someone who, used to be one of the best tag teams in the Nexus and in the Core, has held these championships, and now he's with someone who's a veteran like Rhino.
Yeah. There's really no downside to them holding the titles. So
it would look good on Rhino as well.
Yeah.
During his senator run as well, to get voted in.
We're in the belt to fucking...
we're in the blue belt around.
We're at the fucking Congress. That'd be great. I would love that.
Be good for him as well, moving forward in his parliament role. Him going into government, into politics. Because I don't think he's lasting too long on SmackDown. I think it's like a year or two, and then he'll retire from the ring and then go into politics full time, similar to Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah. So give him a run. Why not? No harm in that. Next up we had Orton and Bray Wyatt, little promo there. Match set up for Backlash in a couple of weeks between the two.
I like the run in and then just the fade to black.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens.
Yeah. Is this another case of Bray Wyatt getting buried, or do you see him actually winning this match?
I think Orton will put Wyatt over big time in this one. But, as I said to you last week, my theory would work well. Like, let the feud go until the end of the year. Let Wyatt go, let Wyatt win the entire feud. Like, Randy can win at Backlash. Doesn't mean Wyatt's completely buried.
No.
Wyatt can win at No Mercy. I still like the whole Team Orton versus Team Wyatt at Survivor Series. And then they have a blow-off match at TLC. And then that's it. Next year, 2017, Orton goes into a different feud. Bray Wyatt goes on to the Rumble and wins it.
Yes. All those things, yes. Like, he needs to win it.
But I think a 4-month program with Randy Orton would work well.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that would be over 4 pay-per-views as well.
As long as he comes out looking better than he did going in. He needs to win a majority of these matches to look good. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to the match. It'll be pretty good. Something we haven't seen before. These two haven't really faced off much. So, it's fresh. And, yeah, I just want Bray to win. I just want Bray to look strong because he's money. He is so goddamn money.
And the fans were chanting Husky Harris at one point too.
Oh, of course they were. Idiots.
Yes. 6 years ago he was Husky Harris.
Yeah, now he's Bray Wyatt and he's fucking awesome. Stop chanting Husky Harris.
He's not husky anymore. He's a bit more built.
He's getting slimmer. He's slowly getting slimmer, which is...
scary.
I like him being that big because he's like a tank. He's just unstoppable.
He looks like a tank now.
Yeah. So, he's fine. He can go in the ring. He's got a big tank on him, so he can go.
I don't know what he's eating, but it's working.
Yeah. No, he's great. Next up, we had Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Alexa Bliss in a tag team match. I didn't watch this.
I did.
Who won?
Alexa Bliss and Natalya. Carmella attacked Nikki Bella.
Oh.
Again.
Oh, that works.
And then at the end,
I guess,
when Carmella sort of cost Becky Lynch and Naomi the match, what Carmella actually did was Carmella stood on Nikki Bella and got onto the barricade.
Yeah.
And just posed and put her hands in the air and the fans were booing her and she was just putting the L sign up to the fans and to Nikki Bella and getting a lot of hate. Like, people like, I hate this woman now.
Yeah, no, it's working. It's getting her over as a heel really well by attacking Nikki, who's very, very popular with little girls. Yeah, so if that's the story they're going for, I'm guessing there's going to be a match announced for the Backlash between the two. You would assume.
That's a 6-pack.
Oh, they're doing another 6-pack?
It's a 6-pack challenge.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yeah, the 6-pack. I forgot about that. Duh. That's right. All right, well, there you go. The good thing about 6-pack challenges and even Fatal 4-Ways and that, you can tell multiple stories in the ring. So, obviously, at some point, they're going to face off and it's going to be, crowd goes reasonably wild for that. Next up, we had the returning Headbangers versus Heath Slater and Rhino.
The Headbangers look really good.
They haven't aged.
No.
I swear to God.
And it dawned on me because I was listening to a few people and all that. Apparently Vince has put them in a freezer somewhere. Like, he froze them in 2000. They never got fired. They never got released. Vince put them in a freezer somewhere and said, one day, I'm going to open up the freezer and you guys are going to wrestle again. And they look exactly like they did in the Attitude Era. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Headbangers on TV a little bit more because, I think we're both in the same boat here. We missed seeing the Headbangers perform.
Yeah, I've gone back and seen stuff of theirs, but I was never watching wrestling when they were sort of around WWE. So.
And to be honest, for me, I think I would look at it and go, I would have actually got it. I would have loved the Headbangers growing up because they love their metal, they're crazy, they're nuts.
They wear kilts.
They wear kilts as well.
I love it.
Like, that's traditional 90s metal there, and they're bringing it back well. And even, like, the fans booed them because everyone's behind Slater and Rhino, and I like it. The Headbangers were such a popular tag team back in the day, and now people can just boo them because
Slater is so bloody over.
He's over.
It is ridiculous.
I'll ask you this question before we go on to the last one.
Yeah.
Who was more over? Heath Slater now or Damien Mizdow when he was with The Miz? It's a tough one, isn't it?
That is a really, really tough one, but you can tell it's that same smarky audience that loves both.
Because every time Slater is slated to, like, at SummerSlam, people were chanting for we want Slater during Roman Reigns versus Rusev. They want Slater just to walk out and make an appearance. The Raw after SummerSlam, people wanted Heath Slater to...
I think at this stage, it's still Damien Mizdow, but we haven't seen Slater in a pay-per-view environment yet. I don't think.
No, we have. Oh, it's been a while since Heath Slater's
and like ever since, like he hasn't been in one since the draft where this storyline kicked off. So I think once we get like a pay-per-view crowd or a pay-per-view angle, like if it does turn out that these guys are facing American Alpha, then we might see a bigger reaction because, like, obviously Mizdow we had the payoff at WrestleMania, which a very, very hard thing to top. So for me, Damien Mizdow still more over than Slater is at the moment, but once we see him in a few pay-per-views, and if it has that longevity, if it can actually last, because Mizdow, the whole story lasted it was a good 6 months, I reckon.
6-7 months.
From him like starting off and not being very hot, then it catching on, and then
when he eliminated The Miz at WrestleMania in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, 80,000 fans went nuts.
Yeah, so
and then a Big Show got booed out of the building when he
fucking right.
See, that's when you know you're over, is when you throw over The Miz, who you're supposed to be teaming with, and the fans go nuts. Mm-hmm. And then when Big Show, even though people boo Big Show anyway, but when 80,000 people just rain boos on Big Show because he threw you out of the Battle Royal. Yeah. You know what I'm waiting for, though? A Battle Royal with Heath Slater and Kane. If Kane throws Heath Slater out, if the fans boo him, he's over.
Yep. So yeah, Heath Slater and Rhino won. Headbangers, apparently this is a one-off. From what I heard. Just back, put over these guys, and then go back to the freezer.
Oh, it's a shame.
But yeah, so
I'd love to see the Headbangers wrestle a little bit more.
I think it could become more than just a one-off thing because people have said that before, come back for a one-off and they've stayed around for a little bit longer, so maybe we'll see them come through again at some point, or maybe even go like down to NXT and have a match with the Revival or somebody like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Because the Dudleys were technically supposed to have a one-off feud with the New Day, and they stuck around for a whole year.
Yeah, so don't count them out. They said it's a one-off, but if they had enough fun and the money's right, then we can see them again. I think we'll see them again at some point.
Because it'd be good to see Mosh and Thrasher have a few more matches. Like, even a match at Backlash would be good.
I want to see them against American Alpha at some point. Yeah. That'd be cool.
And what we're going to be seeing as well on this week's SmackDown coming up next week is, I think, we saw it at SummerSlam.
It's like the third plane or helicopter today. What the fuck? I didn't realise I lived under a goddamn air fucking space.
And those copters are flying very low.
There has literally been nothing all day. You show up for the podcast, planes. It's about right, isn't it?
Yep.
Anyway.
Sounds about right.
Anyway.
What I'm thinking, though, is that I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Next week's SmackDown. Just cut all this bit out here.
Sure.
Next week's SmackDown, because we saw it at SummerSlam, the Usos were teasing a bit of a heel turn, and I think we're going to see continuation of that tease against American Alpha, because they're facing off against each other in the semi-final match. So I think we're going to see the Usos play off as heels a little bit.
Yeah, I think so as well. They teased a little bit in their Talking Smack segment a couple of weeks ago. So
how good would it be to see?
Have they been heels yet?
Yeah, they have when they first came onto the scene with Tamina.
That's right. But I just think, like, they even said it. Roman Reigns has hurt them. Their association with him has hurt them as competitors.
Yeah, so the heel turn for them would help them get a bit of more... And it would be good to see heel Usos.
I'm okay with that. Because they are... Someone made the comparison like a year ago.
Their first theme song was actually really good.
They are the John Cena of the tag division.
They are.
They're boring, babyface, white milk fucking heels.
They don't like it.
No, they could be so good as, you know, as heels. They're shit faces. They could be good heels. So let's go with that. Let's change it up. Let's get another heel tag team on SmackDown. Someone else for the American Alpha to feud with at some point. So, yay.
Plus the Usos as heels, American Alpha as faces. I could get behind that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. We had a little mini segment before our last match. Some dude was in the ring.
Gary the Milkman Millman.
Yeah. And then Kane comes out and kills him. What was this?
I don't know.
This wasn't even like a scheduled squash. This was just a dude in the ring that Kane killed.
I have a license to compete.
I don't know. Like, squash matches are fine because they're set up and there's a ref in the ring and you understand what's happening, but this dude was in his slacks and stripped down to his undies.
JBL hit it on the head. This is a family show.
Yeah, I don't. But I think, like, we had the Kane walking back or there was a little confrontation between Baron Corbin and Kane. Feud, possibly.
Well, we haven't seen Kalisto
since
before SummerSlam, so I think
Baron Corbin probably ate him.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah.
So I think Backlash, Baron Corbin versus Kane.
Possibly, yeah. Could be a thing.
Kane can put Corbin over as sort of the next sort of big heel on SmackDown.
I'm still not sold on Baron Corbin just yet. Give me time, but not just yet. So
Is it slowly coming for you?
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, so main event Baron Corbin v Dean Ambrose with AJ Styles on commentary. It was a good match. It wasn't anything special.
I like the ending towards the match though. Just Ambrose comedy shtick on AJ.
Yeah, look, I like Ambrose comedy style, but there's a time and a place.
And you didn't think that was a good time or place for it?
We're 2 weeks out from Backlash. We should be having better confrontations between the two than AJ being hung up on the top rope
and Ambrose tapping on the shoulder,
rocking the rope, and you know it's ring rope-itis. If they don't make a reference to that at some point, like what the fuck?
You know what the good news is for AJ?
Yeah, what?
Doc Gallows and Doc Anderson have an extra ball that they can surgically put into AJ because they got it from Big E.
They do.
So AJ can take Big E's. So AJ, not all hope is lost for him.
Maybe I'm just like a bit done with testicle humour based on just the amount we got with the club, and now AJ is partaking in some of it. Like, I just think I want to see Ambrose take AJ more seriously because he is a legit, and I think he's going to win the belt personally. He is a legit threat to the belt, and Ambrose can run that I don't care sort of angle, which he's been doing for a while now. It's like, I don't care who I face, just bring him on, I want to fight him. But I think that does a disservice to AJ as a character. I'd much rather him be taken a lot more seriously by Ambrose because he should feel like a legit threat because he is AJ fucking Styles. He beat John Cena
clean
in the middle of the ring at SummerSlam. So he is someone that Dean Ambrose needs to take seriously, and this comedy shtick 2 weeks out from a pay-per-view is not taking him seriously. So next week, essentially, because he got the number one contendership last week, no real confrontation except for right at the end of the show. This week we've had him up on the top rope holding his balls. So next week, you've got to sell us pretty much on the entirety of this story in one show on SmackDown next week.
Yep.
So
what I'm seeing though at Backlash, really early predictions, but I'll go into detail a little bit later when we do the pre-one.
Yeah.
Is I'm seeing more either two things are going to happen. Either AJ is going to have help in light of Baron Corbin maybe to help him beat Dean Ambrose, or AJ Styles to make Dean Ambrose take him a little bit more serious when they go to No Mercy next month is for AJ to maybe put his feet on the ropes to win the belt from Dean Ambrose, because that would roll up Dean Ambrose saying that, you know, Styles cheated and he's not legitimate.
Yeah, no, that would definitely, like, something like that needs to
happen.
happen.
That'll be a good finish to the match at Backlash. Like, have AJ have his feet on the rope to win the title from Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And Dean going nuts in the middle of the ring to end Backlash. That'll be a good way to finish it.
It feels like it's great. Like, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles, you look at that on paper, you're like, cool, that's one of the matchups that we both thought, like, once the draft was done, we're like, that is your next big main event after Dean Ambrose is done with whoever he has. So, or when AJ's done with Cena, he's going straight to that title picture. So,
and Ambrose is done with Ziggler.
Yeah. So, I just wish it was taken a bit more seriously. Comedy is good in places, but
there's a time and a place for that.
Exactly. I just didn't feel this was the time and the place for it. It's like you are really, really close to a big pay-per-view. It's the WWE Championship. It's still the title. Like the Universal title needs time to build up its prestige. This is still the title of the WWE.
It's also the first brand-only pay-per-view as well.
Yeah, so it needs to have a big main event feud, and I think that's what people were so excited about with Ziggler-Ambrose, even though the match wasn't that great. The build was fantastic. Ziggler was on fire. So the fact that we've got only one more show next week to build the main story of this feud, is a bit of a shame that we didn't get anything this week except for AJ getting hung up on the top rope. So I just feel it was a missed opportunity to do something major for this feud.
We can honestly say Raw won this week.
Yeah, Raw by a mile. Like, SmackDown's still an entertaining show, as it always is, but Raw had a lot more to offer, and obviously, new Universal Champion being crowned with a big storyline heading our way. Raw wins.
Yep.
By a long shot.
Hands down.
So, I think that's the hour mark. I think we're good.
Yep. NXT really quickly.
Yeah.
They've swapped the opponents for both Bobby Roode and Austin Aries moving forward. So now Austin Aries is going to take on Andreas and Almas, and Bobby Roode is going to go after No Way Jose.
Yep.
Shinsuke
cut a promo. Was good promo.
Yep. They're selling Samoa Joe as being legitimately injured.
Yeah.
Which is really good because they actually brought up the doctors saying that Samoa Joe has more than just a broken jaw. He also has this injury, and he is not cleared to compete for the first show on NXT back. He's not cleared to compete down the line.
They didn't do the beatdown segment this week, did they?
No.
Okay, apparently at the NXT taping last week or two, it would have been last week, they did the next 3 episodes. Part of that was Shinsuke in the ring, Joe comes down, beats him to the point where he needs a stretcher to take him out. I'm waiting for that. That's going to be amazing.
I think it might be the 3rd show that might do that.
It could be, yeah.
So keep Joe off TV for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, and then bring him back for that 3rd week and show that stretch of vision.
Look out for that.
Also, Tom Phillips will be sitting down with Asuka next week, and we'll know more about her movements in her next opponent as well moving forward.
Awesome. And I think Cruiserweight Classic, Grand Metalik and Kota Ibushi both moved on.
Yep, Brian Kendrick got eliminated. Which
sucks. I do like Brian Kendrick, but like I said, star of the show, he needs to come and like him and Neville could be like the center, like the centerpiece of the cruiserweight division, which would be great. Like I'd love to see a match between the two for starters. That'd be fucking awesome. And then so you got the old guard, you got the guy who's been on Raw for a while now, and then you've got everyone else chasing them for a shot at the title. So. But yeah, Kota Ibushi moving on is fantastic. Grand Metalik, he's really impressed me. I can't wait to see more of him. And so I think the next round of quarterfinals is next week, and then we have the semis after that. And then the final is a few short weeks away, and I cannot wait. I'm guessing it's going to be Kota Ibushi and somebody.
Cedric Alexander?
Probably Cedric Alexander at this point, I reckon.
Also, might as well put some TNA news in too, because...
Oh, why not?
Some news broke about what they're going to do. They're doing the Final Deletion 2 with the Hardys versus the Decay.
Alright, well...
And Jeremy Borash has actually just tweeted out 3 hours ago on his Twitter account as well, and also a huge thank you to Jeremy Borash, who I think he liked or retweeted one of our tweets a couple of weeks back when we did the Final Deletion.
Yep.
So a huge thank you to JB for doing that. His hashtag is Delete or Decay, so they're going to go with hashtag Delete or Decay for this one.
Alright, well, I think we might have to do another live reaction video for that one.
I think we will too. Yeah. And Broken Matt Hardy has also tweeted out too. And there's a bit of interest here because Crazy Steve tweeted out, sheep with a broken shepherd blindly wandered into their demise. It would almost be sad if it wasn't so funny. Matt Hardy responded, decayed vermin cannot stop our broken army of soldiers. Our platoon will delete these demons.
It's going to be fantastic.
It is. And apparently they're spending more money on this than they have for the Final Deletion. So apparently the budget has gone up a little bit more for this. So
more dilapidated boats.
More dilapidated boats.
More Vanguard 1.
The dilapidated boats.
Dilapidated boat. Alright, so we'll keep a lookout for that, and we'll do another live reaction of the Delete or Decay when it comes out.
I cannot wait. This is going to be good.
I'm pretty keen for it, to be honest.
And Matt Hardy's going to come out at the start, and he's like, I put you all into my home today because these events that are happening must be documented. Senior Benjamin, prepare the battlegrounds again for massacre. Sure thing, Mr. Hardy.
Yeah, it's gonna be something special.
We need more Senior Benjamin.
Yeah, we do.
And dilapidated boats.
And Vanguard 1.
And Vanguard 1.
It's so good. Anyway,
you'll be really good though.
What?
Have Vanguard 1 go into the lair of the Decay and just scare Rosemary. Imagine Rosemary just looking at the drone going, what the hell? And then just Matt Hardy's hologram comes out and scares Rosemary.
That hologram is fucking great. Anyway, so we're done. This is our weekly show. We've done SmackDown, Raw, NXT, a bit of Cruiserweight Classic, and a bit of TNA, just because. So you can find us everywhere at StrayaMania. That's at StrayaMania. So Instagram, I got it right this time. Instagram, Facebook, not Facebook. We don't have Facebook yet. We'll get Facebook at some point.
Twitter, YouTube,
Instagram. Though that's where you can find us at StrayaMania. You can find myself at Ricki Needs at RICKINEEDS. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. Check me out.
I'm Tomo Media, THOMMOMEDIA. Also, bit of a plug as well, shameless plug. AFL Live is where I work. We're doing the Women's All-Star Game, so everyone in Australia, Women's All-Star Game Saturday night at the Whitten Oval between the Western Bulldogs and Melbourne. Just listen to Croc Media because we're just simply awesome. And we're sick.
You're a sick guy.
We're sick guys over there. Also, a huge thank you to Podbean for hosting us each and every week. We love you guys at Podbean. Keep up the good work. You guys do amazing work down there, and the amount of support you've given us over the last year has been tremendous and amazing, and I cannot wait to continue our partnership leading on into the future when we build StrayaMania up and have a lot of people listen to us and follow us week in, week out.
That's the aim. One of these days. So if you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, or whatever podcast app you listen to, like, favorite, share, download, whatever, rate, review, all the things, all the buttons, press all the buttons. That's what I need you to do and help us out. It'll help us out in a big, big way. So I think we're done.
We are done. And we're now called StrayaMania Weekly when we do the weekly shows.
Yeah, StrayaMania Weekly and then StrayaMania for the rest of the shows. So we'll be back next week with our weekly show, our Backlash predictions, and after Backlash, our Backlash post show. So look out for them. But until then, I think we're done. We're out of here.
Catch you later.
See ya.